Good morning, everybody, and welcome to day 24 of our 28-day challenge. Start your day with movement. You're just gonna need your mat today and some space. So go place your mat on the floor and make sure you're in some comfy clothes, and let's get moving. We're gonna start on our backs today. We're gonna do a little bit of sciatic nerve floss to get us started. So lie down on your back. We're gonna go left leg flat on the floor, straight in line with your hip. Grab the back of your right leg. Start with a pointed ankle. You're gonna lift your leg up as high as you can, then flex your foot, and then bring your foot back down. And I want you to just focus on breathing in whatever pattern makes sense, as long as we're not holding our breath. This is number 3. We're gonna do 8, 4. You can always adjust how close your knee is to your leg based on your level of flexibility and mobility. 6. Make sure your shoulders and neck are relaxed. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switch. I did say 8, we did 10. Right leg straight in line with your hip. Grab onto the back of your left leg. Point your ankle and toes first. Straighten out your leg as much as you can. Flex your foot and then bring everything back down. So we're not holding the stretch, we're moving our way through the motion. And remember, you can always adjust how far or close your knee is to your chest. If ever you're unable to grab the back of your leg, just grab a towel. Put the towel around your leg and perform the same drill. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You're gonna go back to your first leg, so grab behind your right leg, but this time move your left leg about 45 degrees out to the side. And we're gonna do the same thing. So straighten up your leg, pull your foot flexed, and drop back down. That's 1. That's 2. 3. 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bring your left leg back in, drop down your right leg and switch. So grab behind your left leg, move your right one out 45 degrees, roughly. Point your toes, straighten up your leg, flex, and back down. Try to make sure the kneecap of your right leg is still pointed up to the ceiling. So try to avoid letting it roll in or out. That was 2. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bring both your feet back down to the middle, knees are bent. So now that we've kind of woken up the back, we're gonna try to engage it a little bit. So feet should be parallel. We're gonna make sure our ribs stay stacked above our pelvis, so a gentle ab contraction. You're gonna make sure you feel your big toe knuckle on the floor. That's really important here. You're gonna push the floor away and lift those hips. Make sure you're not arching your back, so keep your hips in line with your with your ribs, and make sure you feel that your butt and your hamstrings are engaged, so your posterior chain to keep your hips up in the air. So we're just gonna hold this for 5 more seconds. Make sure you get your brain a chance to feel that your butt is holding you up, not your back. Hamstrings are working. From here, you're gonna try to lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. Are you able to keep your hips up and keep your pelvis parallel? tap the floor, and come back up. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, make sure you're still breathing, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring your foot back down. Make sure your feet are still parallel. Feel the big toe knuckle on the floor for your right leg. We're gonna repeat the same thing on the left side. So your goal here is to keep your pelvis parallel. Make sure you're still feeling your bum and your hamstrings. And lift and tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Hips up, bring your bum back down, and take a deep breath in and out. Beautiful. We're going to go back up into our glute bridge position. This time, when you bring your foot up, you're going to try to bring it out to the side and come back up. So if you're really struggling with your hips up in the air, you can do the same exercise while you're lying down on the floor. Your goal is to make sure that your pelvis and your ribs don't move. So the only thing moving is your leg in and out. We're going to do 10 per side, starting with our right leg. So feet parallel on the floor to start. Make sure your ribs are stacked above your pelvis. Feel your big toe knuckles on the floor. Squeeze your bum, push into the floor with your whole foot. So your heels should still be on the ground in this glute bridge position. Bring that right leg up. Make sure you feel big toe knuckle on the left leg. Arms can stay on the ground. Bring the leg out as far as you can control without letting the rest of your body move, and come back in. So that's 1, 2, 3. So hip bones are still pointed up. Really, it's your pelvis, but 4, 5, 6. Make sure your bum is holding you up, your hamstring. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bring that right foot back down. Keep your hips up in the air if you can. If you need to bring them down for a little break, feel free to do so. Make sure your right foot is parallel with your left. Feel your big toe knuckle, little toe knuckle on both sides of your heel. Squeeze that bum. Make sure you're still breathing. Left leg up. Bring it out as far to the side as you can and back up. That's 1, 2, 3. Try not to let that right knee go out. Try to make sure it stays in line with the hips and the foot. This is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bring that foot back down. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Hips are still up and out. And bring those hips back down. Bring your feet wider. So they're wider than your hips, wider than your shoulders. And we'll just do some windshield wipers, trying to push both knees down towards the floor, keeping the shoulder blades on the ground. Work on taking some nice big deep breaths. One more each side. And back. Excellent. This time we're going to work the front of our hips. So we're going to do, we've done this in standing, we've done it in lying down before. So it's a 3 steps. Wow, I can't talk this morning. 3 steps. So you're going to bring your knee up into hip flexion as much as you can. Just so you guys can see better, I flipped around. So I'm going to bring my knee as close to my chest as I can. Then I'm going to use my hands to pull it even deeper. So nice assistance with the hands. Then the goal is to see if you're able to hold this new position. So you gently let go. We're going to hold for 3 seconds and then slide our leg back down. We're going to do 10 per side. So if everybody's ready, we're going to go in 3, 2,
1. Right leg first. Pull your knee to your chest. Use your hands to assist finishing your range of motion. Gently let go, hold. 3, 2, 1, and leg. We're gonna repeat all on the same side. This is number 2. Assist with the hands, gently let go, hold. 3, 2, 1, and back down. 3, 1, 2, 3, and down. Knee up, hug it tightly, gently let go, hold. 3, 2, 1, and bring that leg down. That was 4. This is 5, hug the knee, hold. 3, 2, 1, and bring it down. Working on end range strength. So this part is kind of like the stretch where you try to pull your knees close to your chest as possible. Then we hold for 3, 2, 1. That's our end range strength, and back down. This is 7. Hug the knee, gently let go. 3, 2, 1. 8. Hug the knee, gently let go. 3, 2, 1. Back down. This is 9. Hug the knee, gently let go. Back down. 1 more. Hug the knee, hold. 3, 2, 1, and back down. Stay in the same position. Make sure those shoulders are relaxed and your neck is relaxed. The only thing that should be working here are your abs and your hip flexors together. Left leg, pull your knee to chest first. Then use your hands to assist further range of motion. Then let go and hold. 3, 2, 1, and slide that leg all the way back down. And lift. This is 2. Hug. Hold. 3, 2, 1, back down. Lift. 3. Hold. Hold. 3, 2, 1, back down. This is 4. Hug. Hold. 3, 2, 1, back down. This is 5. Hug. Hold. 3, 2, 1, back down. 6. Hug. Hold. 3, 2, 1, and back down. 7. Hug. Hold. 3, 2, 1, back down. 8. Hug. Hold. 3, 2, 1, and back down. Pull up. 9. Hug. Hold. 3, 2, 1, back down. Last one. That's 10. Hug your knee. Hold. 3, 2, 1, and back down. Excellent. You're going to roll onto your stomach. Squeeze your bum. Push the floor away. Try to stretch out that stomach in front of hips. Keep the shoulders down and away from your ears. If ever that's too much, you can always do the same thing from your elbows, thinking about trying to pull your chest to the floor, but make sure that you're squeezing your bum. You can even twist your shoulders a little bit. Feel the stretch a little bit harder on one side compared to the other. Take a deep breath in and out and back up. Excellent. We're going to sit in a straddle position, stretch out our hip abductors a little bit, and then we'll activate them just like we've been doing with our posterior chain, so the back of our legs. We just did the front, and then we're going to work on the inside. So you're going to sit in your straddle. Same thing as previous days. If you really can't sit up in this position, feel free to sit up against a wall to help you. Distance from legs can be whatever is convenient or doable for you today, and feel free to try a different angle. We're going to make our arms out nice and wide into a letter T. Our goal here is to fold as far forwards as we can, making sure our kneecaps and toes stay pointed up to the ceiling, so we don't want them collapsing in as you lean forward, and then we'll pull ourselves back up. Trying to keep both butt bones on the floor the whole time. So sitting up nice and tall, you're gonna fold forward as far as you can, flat back, and pull yourself back up. That's 1. 2. Remember to breathe. Kneecaps and toes pointed up to the ceiling. 3. 4. If that's really too much for you, slide your hands on the floor instead. This is 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. Last one. And 10. Excellent. So for our adductors, activations, your adductors are your inner thighs. We're going to do a side plank with a hip lift, except that your top leg is the one that's going to stay on the floor. So your top leg is the one that's going to be helping you up. So I'll show 2 versions. You're going to have your elbow directly underneath your shoulder, hand flat on the floor. Top leg is straight with foot flexed. So flexed is toes to nose. Your goal here is going to be to push down into the floor to lift your hips and your bottom leg. So if ever that's too much for you today, push down with your top leg, but keep your bottom knee on the floor for extra support. We're gonna do 10 lifts and then we'll do 10 on the other side. 3, 2, 1, push down into the floor, lift, and come back up, and come back down. 1, 2, lift up as high as you can. 3, really drive that foot, top foot into the floor. 4, 5, 6, 7, make sure your hips stay stacked. 8, 9, last one, and 10. Switch sides. So set up, we want elbow underneath shoulder, hand flat on the floor, top leg is straight, foot is flexed, so I'm pushing down into the floor with the inside of my foot, trying to avoid letting my ankle roll out. Keep that top leg nice and stiff as you push down into the floor, and just a reminder that if you're unable to lift that bottom leg, just keep the knee on the floor for extra support. We're going for 10, 3, 2, 1, push down into the floor, lift, and come back down. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, keep those hips stacked, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Excellent. Take a deep breath in through your nose, breathe out through your mouth, breathe in, and out. Beautiful. We're gonna do some wrist work, and then we're gonna finish up with some lateral crawling today. So we've done forwards and backwards of our bear crawl, and then today we're gonna try to move in our frontal plane, which is moving side to side. So start with the palms on the floor, fingertips towards your knees. You're just gonna draw some circles. Make sure your fingers are spread and you're pushing your fingertips into the floor. This is 3, 4, and 5. And switch directions. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Fingertips at 3 and 9 o'clock. And then you're just gonna push yourself from side to side. Remember to use your whole hand, including those fingertips, as you push yourself from right to left. Try to keep those elbows straight. You control how much you push and how much side bend you have. One more each side. Excellent. Fingertips forwards. Remember, we always want our index pointing forwards so our hands aren't turned in. And you're just gonna rock forwards and backwards. In your rocking, think about pushing yourself back so that you're engaging more of your forearm muscles, wrist, hand. Push with those fingertips. Spread those fingers on the floor. One more. Excellent. And then for our last one, we're gonna flip our hands around so that the back of your hand is on the floor. Remember, you can always do this one hand at a time. You're gonna try to make some fists. That was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful. So for our crawling, remember you want to be moving opposite arm, opposite leg for the same distance at the same time. Your goal here is to keep a nice stiff trunk, so from neck to pelvis. Your goal, I imagine I have like a glass of water on my back and I'm trying to make sure I don't spill. So for the side one, it's easier if you start with your hands together and your feet apart, and then you'll be moving your, I'll start here because I'm not in the comments. So my hands are together, my feet are apart. I'm going to be moving my right arm out and left leg in, and then switch. So if you want to start the pattern with your knees on the floor, so you kind of figure out the pattern, and then when you're ready, we're going to lift our knees off the floor. Great ab exercise, great shoulder, hip, trunk, stability. So feel free to include it in your workouts. So we're going to start at one end of the mat. We're going to walk sideways, come back, take a little breather, and repeat. Like I said, if you're really uncomfortable, keep your knees on the floor to start. Otherwise, lift your knees, opposite arm, opposite leg, same distance. Keep the chin tucked in, and walk back. Opposite arm, opposite leg, push the floor away, keep the chin tucked in, bring the knees down, take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth, breathe in and out. Feel free to go a longer distance. We've got one more. Hands together, feet apart, wider than shoulders. Lift the knees about 1 inch off the floor and move opposite arm, opposite leg, keeping yourself nice and stiff. And out. And bring those knees down. Beautiful. We are all done our 20-minute session already. Thanks for joining me again today. Check out my page tomorrow for the video. It normally gets dropped around at 8:30. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Keep moving, even if it's just for a 5-minute break in the middle of your workday. Otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. Keep moving.